They are normally very thrown together and they will not sound good.
That'll be the day that I'm like, sweet, I'm out.
I probably still owe that guy money. So basically I had this idea that we go through song by song because it's been a very different process for us making a record compared to everything we did as Fire for Glory. So we want to look at every version of the song. So I wanted to look at demo versions, the original released versions that we did, maybe just the first riff that was recorded for a song, basically whatever I can find.
Opportunity to kind of just nerd out over the technical side.
And also the creative side.
I guess how it's developed over time as well.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, where you have your first idea and then by the time it gets to the album, it's so different. It's an opportunity for us to kind of unpack how we've developed as musicians as well.
For sure. I mean, you look at some of the songs on the album, like French Girls. The Stay Loyal version is the 5th version of it we've recorded. The original demo was done maybe start of 2012, so we're talking 12 years ago.
Actually, yeah, I still remember the Guitar Pro that I got sent.
I
can't even play this one.
I
don't remember the last time I opened Guitar Pro. I remember it was the go-to, if we had songs that we'd come up with at home, because even 12 years ago, that's the benefit of the future, is this technology to kind of make professional quality records at home just wasn't anywhere near as accessible. When we started, what was the first version of this band? It was you still kind of had to try and get the money to get into a decent studio with the right producer, and even then you're kind of gambling, and you'd kind of hope that a label would pick you up and you get some funding, and on top of the fact that we were effectively kids. So when we started the band, the 3 of us would have been 18.
You guys might have been. I've just been an old man all this time.
Yeah. We're all coming 32. It's been a minute.
36. RIP.
But it's that evolution of the times as well, because everything that was required to write as a band, to be a band, to market a band, to produce an album was so different. We could have never have imagined making this album at the time. 1, we weren't good enough. Not that we would have believed that. 2, we couldn't afford it.
Yeah. I mean, we could barely afford to kind of eat at the time.
Yeah. So it was all mega ring noodles and bloody... There was a dairy next to Maine's.
Oh, I know the one.
Which, to the outside listener, was the music school where this band formed. And there was a dairy, and I still talk about it with Sam.
I probably still owe that guy money.
He did a combo that was $2 for a Big Ben pie and a can of Coke Zero, or $3 and it was the Big Ben, the steak and double cheese.
Like the XL.
The XL pie.
Hell yeah.
It was $3 and you used to get your study link. I used to get $160 a week, which 12 years ago paid my rent and fed me some groceries.
Yeah. That dairy plus Domino's $5 pizzas.
Yeah, or barbecue rodeos.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Those are what allowed me to survive through uni. What I'm really looking forward to going through this process is seeing Steve's reactions to some of these things.
Oh yeah.
Because for the 3 of us, all of the demo versions are things that we have heard at some point. Some of them may be things we haven't heard in 10 plus years, but they are things we are familiar with,
or even
to a degree.
Generally forgotten about.
Bear in mind, as we look at all of these things, all of the demos are demos.
Yeah.
Demo versions are very rough. They are normally very thrown together and they will not sound good. There's going to be a handful of things that we notice significant improvements on. The main 3, skill in writing the right parts for the right song, writing parts that fit the song rather than just being this sounds cool, I'm going to throw it in without thinking about it. The production, definitely, because when we recorded, the first things we recorded, I was literally just oh yeah, I'll download a cracked version of Logic and I will push record and hope for the best. I'm obviously still learning, but what I've learned over the years has helped a great deal. And then the third one is going to be the vocal performances, because for sure you've always been a good vocalist, but your control over like your tone and your pitch have improved drastically, like even over the last like 5 years or so, probably to do with the musicals and stuff.
Yeah, there was a definite increase when I started getting involved in musical theatre. It was around about the time we did the Life of the Party EP, and I started doing musicals around the same time. I think they just put me back in an environment where I required a lot more kind of focused control over what I was doing vocally. And there's still stuff like I like to tweak. I'm still playing with doing the correct amount of blending of kind of excited frontman versus strong singing performance, and like figuring that out. But if there's nothing to figure out, then there's no point. Like I don't like the notion of not being able to improve on something. And there's stuff, we put out Stay Loyal, and it's like the most musically proud I've ever been of anything. But there's still stuff I listen back to and I'm like, ooh, I could have done this differently, which I think is a sign of growth and good. I think the day we kind of release music and I'm like, yep, that's perfect, that's it, I'm done, then that'll probably be the day that I'm like, sweet, I'm out. Because that's like the passion dying, really, is when you stop looking for ways to make it better.